Hey everyone, today I want to answer a question that I get quite a bit. Do I have to retouch in 16-bit or is it just fine in 8-bit? I don't see a difference. Well, it really depends what you're doing. Generally speaking, however, you have a lot more colors to work with in 16-bit. Now, this is sometimes difficult to see. However, with two very simple maneuvers, I will show you the massive benefits that we have in 16-bit versus 8-bit. Where does that count? Well, if you retouch skin or big blue skies and so on, you really want to retouch in 16-bit to keep the gradients and the color separated and nice, rather than running into any kind of banding issues. To illustrate, I've created two identical files with the difference that the top file is in 16-bit and the file below is in 8-bit. We'll create two small little level adjustments to both files and you will instantly see what the difference is and how much more color a 16-bit file can hold. So what we'll do is we'll just create a levels adjustment layer, and in the 16-bit file, I'll just change the input and the output levels. There's no rocket science to it, just something to illustrate until we get some kind of a gray soup. All right, nothing magical. Now we take this level adjustment layer and throw it onto the 8-bit and we get exactly the same. So let's see how much information is still available in the 8-bit and how much is still available in the 16-bit. So let's go back to the 16-bit and create on top of our layer stack another levels adjustment layer. And as we can see now in the properties, there is only a little bit of information left in the midtones. So let's get this out. I'll put the blacks and the whites in there so that we get our lovely gradient back. So we first taken a lot of information out and now we crushed it to get information back. And as you can see in 16-bit, we're getting back to our gradients. That's how much information was still in that 16-bit file. But what happens if we throw this one now onto our 8-bit as well? And there you go. The 8-bit file just does not contain enough information to recreate those smooth gradients as we can see in the 16-bit file, especially not after such a big maneuver. So if you do heavy lifting in Photoshop, I would strongly recommend to do so in 16-bit, because as you can see here, the 8-bit will sooner or later create bandings. Now, we still need 8-bit files because the delivery to our client, to our friends or social media will of course be in a JPEG and 8-bit, which is fine, but we should do so at the very end of our processing. Now, there are some filters in Photoshop which only work in 8-bit, which is fine, but we just have to make sure that we use them at the end after all the heavy lifting that we have done. Well, I hope that illustrates the difference and the amount of colors that we can work with in 16-bit in comparison to 8-bit. Well, that's it. I hope that was helpful. Have an awesome day.